Hello and welcome to cookingflavors.com. Our channel is aimed at teaching beginners the ABCs of Indian cooking. We bring to you the very basic, simple, easy to learn and cook recipes and a guide to the most essential cooking strategies. Keep watching and enjoy our recipes. For today's video, I thought I'll show you a very interesting video which is a part of creating new cooks and beautiful homes and a part of the beautiful home series. I will be showing you how to neatly organize your kitchen countertop space, especially when you have very limited countertop space. As you can see, I have that's all is my countertop space and it is very minimal. So in this video, I'll show you how I neatly organize my countertop and how I keep the necessary things handy. This is just my idea of organizing the kitchen countertop. You can always add or decrease the necessary items. Now to the extreme left of my countertop, that is next to my cooking range, I have little space, so I thought I'll organize my oils and a few other things here. I'll show you what they are. Now this tray is a steel tray and it is easily washable. You can see I have lined this tray with a nice thick paper or a thick cardboard kind of a stuff, because since it essentially holds all the oils, I don't like my oils to mess up my countertop. So if at all the oil spills, it's going to spill on this paper and it will easily absorb all the oil. Every now and then you can keep changing that paper. You can use any kind of thick paper which absorbs all the oil. Now this is where I hold my spoons. This is basically a pencil and pen organizer, but I thought I'll use it in my kitchen. It has 3 compartments in it, and these are my plastic spoons and my plastic forks. And in this section I have kept my kitchen scissor here, and this is my electric rice cooker spatula, and this also holds a few of my steel forks, my steel spoons, and a lot of oil spoons are also here. So this is essentially my spoon holder. This is my oil dispenser. This is my regular cooking oil that I use more often than the others. This is a sauce dispenser. I use it to hold my olive oil. And this is kaluppu. Once in a way I use kaluppu or rock salt in my dishes. This is a pepper mill or a pepper grinder, a very useful thing in your kitchen. Basically, if you see in any South Indian kitchen, the most important masala items are chili powder, turmeric powder and salt. If you have that, you can do wonders. So this container holds my chili powder in it. This has the turmeric powder. And this bottle contains nallanai or sesame seed oil. So basically I use the regular cooking oil, the nallanai and the olive oil. This has my salt contained in it. And below that is a masala dabba. I have the dry red chilies and all the other seasoning items. You can always tailor this according to your needs. So this is the extreme left of my countertop next to my cooking range. Now we'll go to the other side. This is the right hand side of my countertop, in the immediate right next to my cooking range. Since I don't have much space, I used a shelf like this. This is an extendable shelf. You can pull it down horizontally. This shelf now gives me 2 compartments. I can keep certain things on top and certain things on the bottom. Now here I have my mortar and pestle goes below it. Now you can see I have used a thick cloth like this. This is a pot holder and it's quite thick, and it has a loop here also. Since my countertop is made of stone and my mortar and pestle is also stone, when I am grinding and crushing things, I don't want it to damage my stones, so I put it on a cloth like that. And since it's heavy, I use this loop to pull it out. Next to my mortar and pestle is a basket which contains my potatoes and my chepakaranga, arbi or colocasia. These vegetables don't go into the fridge usually, so they have to be kept outside. You must always have your potatoes and colocasia in a basket where air goes through it. Always make sure don't put it in a closed container. Next to it is a similar situation where I have my onions. Onions are an everyday useful vegetable, so that also goes on my countertop. That also is held in a basket with a lot of holes in it. Now moving on to the top section, I have a drum which is filled with water that I use for everyday cooking. Now this drum has a tap also here, so since it's at the top, I can hold a vessel or a utensil down and collect all the water here. This water holds me good for a full day's cooking, for lunch, breakfast and dinner also. Next to it I have an airtight container which holds my cooking rice or sapatarazi. Since we cook rice at least twice a day, I have it on my countertop, and I put a small cup with a handle in it so that I don't use my wet hands into the rice. So that's very handy. That cup is very handy in my rice container. Next to it, I have my idli rice. This is also in an airtight container. Since I don't have much cabinet space, I've kept the idli rice here. And since I grind idli and dosa batter once or twice a week, it's handy there. And this is my kitchen paper towels in a small tumbler that I use to fill in water and use it for cooking. To the extreme end of my countertop, I have my wet grinder which I use for grinding idli and dosa batter. Behind it, I have a plastic tray which contains my nut grinder, or you can say it grinds my dry ingredients. I put it in a tray so that it's easy for me to keep moving it around without any hassle. So I essentially use this to grind my dry ingredients when I'm not using my mortar and pestle. Now this is a nut chopper which I found very cute at a store, so I thought I'll pick it. I use it for chopping almonds and cashew nuts. This is the other side of my kitchen. Now you saw the countertop that I just showed you. In between there's a small aisle where I stand and cook, and this is the other side. If you can see on the left hand side, I have my electric rice cooker. Since I cook rice twice a day, it's an everyday use, so it stays on my countertop all the time. Next to it is a dish rack or a plates rack. It holds a few of my plates and tumblers there. Very next to it is my sink. So when I wash some of my pots and pans, I put it on this plate rack or dish rack for it to dry. So even if the water drips from it, it'll fall into my sink and it'll not mess up my kitchen. On the right hand side of the sink, if you notice, it has a small container or a box that holds my dishwashing liquid, and next to it is a spray bottle. I use a spray bottle to spray my countertop and clean it after every cooking that I do. That's very handy, because every time if you have to open the tap and then sprinkle water, it gets a lot messy. So that spray bottle is very useful. This box also contains my dishwashing scrubs as well. You can see I have hung two brushes there. The pink brush is the one which I use to wash my sink. Every night I do that, and the other brush is the one which I use for washing uh, bottles. Now, if you can see this, the point where I'm touching is the side of my refrigerator. So every time I wash things here in my sink, a lot of water is going to splash on my refrigerator and going to damage it. So I have stuck a paper. This is called a contact paper. You can stick any kind of paper that you want, but make sure it's easy. You can easily peel it and it does not damage any surface that you're sticking. So buy something which is like that. And this paper is easily washable also, so even if things splash, I pat dry and wipe it thoroughly. Hope you enjoyed this organization video today. Post in your comments and suggestions and hit the like button to keep encouraging us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit us at cookingflavors.com. You can also follow us on Google+. Thank you, and see you again with another interesting video.